To understand how fast society moves today, you have to look at the hard data of human speed. From 4000 BC right up to the early 1900s, our physical movement was capped by a single, unyielding biological rule. For roughly 99% of recorded civilization, the maximum speed of any traveler was strictly tied to muscle fiber, specifically the top speed of a galloping horse, clocking in at roughly 15 to 30 miles per hour for short bursts. It did not matter if you were a Roman emperor on a chariot or an English industrialist in a carriage. That biological ceiling dictated the speed of trade, communication, and warfare across every major empire. Because of this hard limit, physical geography remained a massive barrier. Crossing an ocean or navigating a mountain range meant weeks, sometimes months, of grueling, dangerous transit. Humanity lived in a massive, disconnected, and slow world, physically trapped by the limitations of flesh and bone. Then, in a span of time barely registering as a blip on the historical timeline, the data curve violently bends. We shifted from relying on muscle power to harnessing mechanical combustion. The breakpoint arrives around 1908. The Ford Model T hit the roads with a top speed of 45 miles per hour, immediately tripling the historical baseline and breaking the biological barrier for good. The production volume scaled rapidly alongside the speed. In 1908, Ford produced just over 10,000 of these vehicles. 15 years later, massive assembly lines pushed annual production past 2 million cars. By the 1930s, the curve steepened again. Human transit gained a vertical dimension, leaving the ground entirely to travel through the atmosphere. Commercial planes like the DC-3 began cruising at 180 miles per hour. We completely decoupled from terrestrial roads and achieved a 12 times speed multiplier over the horse and carriage baseline. The blue planet was rapidly shrinking. Geographic obstacles that once required massive expeditions were turning into trivial afternoon flights. The acceleration did not level off. It shifted into higher gear with the transition from propeller-driven craft to jet propulsion. In the 1950s, commercial jets like the de Havilland Comet hit the skies at 500 miles per hour. Now we were moving at 33 times the speed of a galloping horse. Crossing the Atlantic Ocean went from a treacherous multi-week maritime voyage to a predictable flight you could sleep through in a few short hours. Then, in 1969, the Concorde arrived. It broke the sound barrier, carrying commercial passengers at a staggering 1,350 miles per hour.
To visualize this, look at the exponential velocity curve, mapping top speeds against human history. For 6,000 years, the data is a flat horizontal line until 1900. Then, plotting the Model T, jets, and the Concorde, it skyrockets into a near-vertical cliff. That vertical spike tracks a century that achieved more acceleration in 60 years than the previous 6,000 combined. Beyond the record-breaking speed of individual machines, the true shift happened in how billions of people actually lived. We went from 10,000 automobiles at the start of the century to over 1.4 billion cars actively traversing the globe today. To support all that steel and rubber, we laid down billions of miles of paved highways, spiderwebbing across continents to create an infrastructure that did not exist 100 years earlier. Above ground, commercial aviation turned generation-defining journeys into routine weekend trips.
Eventually, the infrastructure reached orbit. Rocket-powered transit launched objects like Sputnik into the sky, populating low Earth orbit with a network of sensors and transmitters. Today, thousands of active satellites sit above the atmosphere, processing petabytes of data every second just to manage and route the billions of vehicles moving below. By shattering the biological baseline, humanity compressed thousands of years of stagnant physical limitations into a few short decades, reconstructing the planet's infrastructure to match our new velocity.